On this Friday, February the 20th, 2026, yesterday's severe weather verified in the worst way possible. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado struck near Bloomington, Indiana, just 8 miles from the Indiana University campus. The National Weather Service issued a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, the highest level of urgency they can attach to a warning. A roof was torn off the Fifth Third Bank on West 3rd Street. Structural damage was reported across multiple locations. People were trapped inside a mobile home. More than 1,200 Duke Energy customers lost power. Multiple tornado warnings were issued across southern Indiana from Greene County to Monroe County to Brown County to Bartholomew County. This was the first enhanced risk severe weather day of 2026, upgraded to a 3 out of 5 with a 10% probability of tornadoes and hatched for EF2 or stronger. It verified, and it verified violently. Meanwhile, the Weather Prediction Center has significantly upgraded its language on the potential nor'easter. As of Thursday afternoon, the WPC now says rapid cyclogenesis near the mid-Atlantic coast continues to pose a threat of heavy snow and high winds from the mid-Atlantic to southern New England Sunday into Monday. That is bomb cyclone language, and the Ranger Road fire in Oklahoma has doubled in size to 283,283 acres, making it the largest wildfire in the United States this year. It is only 15% contained. More than 300,000 total acres have burned across Oklahoma and Kansas this week. This country is dealing with tornadoes, blizzards, wildfires, and record heat all at the same time. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. Let me walk through what happened yesterday and what is coming. The severe weather unfolded exactly as forecast. Storm development began around midday across eastern Missouri and southern Illinois. By mid-afternoon, a line of discrete supercells formed across southeastern Illinois. The tornado risk escalated as these storms interacted with the warm front and tapped into enhanced low-level wind shear and surface-based instability. The SPC had warned that a focused corridor of higher tornado potential would evolve near Interstate 70 southward toward Interstate 64 across southern Illinois and southern Indiana. That is precisely what happened. Long-lived multi-hour supercells tracked through the region, producing large hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and confirmed tornadoes. The confirmed large tornado near Bloomington moved east at 45 miles per hour, which is fast for a tornado. The NWS described it as a particularly dangerous situation and urged people to take cover immediately. Several structures were damaged, especially around State Route 48 and Interstate 69, just east of the Monroe County Airport. The tornado watch was extended to 11 p.m. as storms continued tracking eastward. A subsequent tornado warning was issued for the Columbus, Indiana area as a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado moved through Bartholomew, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Very large hail and strong rotation were observed moving across Bloomington during the event. Eventually, the activity grew upscale into an organized line, shifting the primary concern to damaging wind gusts as it moved through the mid to upper Ohio Valley overnight. No injuries were reported in the immediate Bloomington area from the Monroe Fire Protection District's initial assessment, which is remarkable given the severity of the damage. This was the first Level 3 severe storm threat in nearly 5 months and the highest threat of 2026. Elsewhere, the impact of the Oklahoma wildfires reached all the way to Chicago. Smoke from the Ranger Road fire was lofted into the atmosphere and created dirty rain across the city on Wednesday, leaving a film of dust on cars across the metropolitan area. That is how massive and far-reaching this fire has become. Today, the cold side of yesterday's storm is delivering a burst of snow across Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and Wisconsin. Des Moines, Rockford, Chicago, Madison, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Marquette are all dealing with accumulating snow this morning into the afternoon commute. Several inches are possible, and this is catching people off guard after a week where temperatures were 40 degrees above normal. Fort Wayne hit 60 degrees yesterday, while Des Moines was already back in the mid-40s as the cold air raced in. Montana was at 0 for a high. That dramatic temperature contrast is what fueled the violent storms. Further south today, there is another chance of severe weather. A marginal to slight risk of storms covers northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and Georgia, including the Atlanta metro, Florence, Huntsville, Chattanooga, Tupelo, and Yazoo City. This is primarily a hail and wind risk. By Saturday, the marginal risk shifts further south to Montgomery, Savannah, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and the Wilmington area. Not a major severe weather day, but storms could produce damage. Now let me address the storm everyone on the East Coast is watching. The nor'easter potential for Sunday night into Monday has sharpened significantly. The WPC extended discussion from Thursday at 3:16 p.m. uses the phrase rapid cyclogenesis. Near or just off the East Coast remains a distinct threat for heavy snow and high winds from the mid-Atlantic to southern New England. That is a substantial escalation from 48 hours ago when they were calling this very uncertain. CNN now outlines 3 scenarios. The most likely scenario has the storm tracking far enough offshore to prevent a major event, but still delivering light to moderate snow and gusty winds from southern New England through the mid-Atlantic, including Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. The second scenario has a powerful storm developing close enough to the coast to deliver major impacts from D.C. to Boston, with heavy snow, strong winds, and difficult travel. The third scenario has the storm moving so far offshore it misses entirely, but that appears least likely at this point. The National Weather Service forecast for New York City now shows a 50% chance of snow on Sunday and Sunday night. A 30% chance of precipitation late Saturday could begin as rain before changing to snow as colder air filters in. If snow falls, only a few inches are expected unless the storm tracks closer to shore. This is not one snowstorm, but 2. The system from yesterday is delivering snow across the upper Midwest today and will push into the Northeast tonight and Saturday. Upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island see accumulating snow from this first system as cold air filters in. Then, before it even settles, the potential nor'easter arrives Sunday night into Monday. The combination could produce 12 to 18 inches across parts of New England and the mid-Atlantic over the next 5 days from both storms combined. Boston and southeastern New England remain the highest probability zone for significant accumulation across nearly all model solutions. Providence, Hartford, and interior New England are also high probability. New York City sits at the 50% threshold. Long Island and coastal Connecticut face wind and coastal flooding risks if the stronger solutions verify. Philadelphia has lower odds, but is not zero. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore could see snow, especially if the storm tracks closer to shore. Albany, Burlington, and Portland, Maine see accumulation from both storms in most scenarios. Cape Cod, Nantucket, and the islands face the strongest wind threat with gusts potentially exceeding 60 to 80 miles per hour if the storm bombs out nearby. The cold behind all of this is significant. The WPC says the departing system will bring northerly winds, advecting a much colder Canadian air mass with highs 10 to 20 degrees below late February averages from the deep south to the Ohio Valley by Monday. Freeze lines extend through Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, North Texas, deep into Tennessee, and with a reinforcing cold shot potentially into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Central and southern Florida feel the colder air to end February. Anyone who planted early based on this week's spring-like warmth needs to cover those plants. A moderating trend begins midweek with the warmest readings across the plains, up to 25 degrees above average from South Dakota to northeastern Colorado by Tuesday. The wildfire disaster continues to grow. The Ranger Road fire doubled in 24 hours from 145,000 to 283,283 acres. It is 15% contained and spans Beaver, Harper, and Woods counties in Oklahoma and Comanche, Clark, and Meade counties in Kansas. Combined with the Stevens, Side Road, and 43 road fires, more than 300,000 acres have burned this week. Level 3 evacuations remain for Ashland and Inglewood, Kansas. Officials received 33 fire reports across 23 counties on Wednesday alone. Shifting winds Thursday threaten containment lines. No meaningful rain is expected across the southern plains through the end of February, meaning fire danger remains elevated indefinitely. Out west, the Sierra Nevada continues measuring snow in feet. The Cascades remain under winter storm warnings. A broad low off the Oregon coast is expected to stall over the weekend and could deliver an atmospheric river event Sunday into Monday with several inches of rain across northern California and southwestern Oregon. Portland and Seattle stay wet with heavy mountain snow. Denver, Salt Lake City, and the Rockies continue adding accumulation. Looking further ahead, the pattern through late February into early March remains volatile. Cold shots from western Canada keep dropping into the northern and eastern United States. The subtropical jet begins activating as we transition from La Nina to neutral ENSO, which sets the stage for more severe weather across the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. Additional wintry precipitation is possible across the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Ohio Valley through the middle of next week after the nor'easter departs. Winter is not done. The bottom line for Friday. Yesterday's enhanced risk severe weather verified with confirmed large tornadoes near Bloomington, Indiana. The WPC now treats the nor'easter as a distinct threat with rapid cyclogenesis language. New York City has 50% snow odds Sunday. Two back-to-back snowstorms could combine for 12 to 18 inches across parts of the Northeast. The Ranger Road fire has exploded to 283,283 acres. Cold air floods in this weekend. Saturday and Sunday will bring the clarity we need on the nor'easter track. Stay with me.